Hi, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am going to have a conversation today that a lot of you may find to be TMI. This is a personal journey, and this is a very feminine topic. So if you are not okay with talking about periods and uteruses, this is a time to not watch. If you are going to stay on this channel, what I'm going to share with you is what my choices have been over the past 60 days. I am 46 years old, and I have, since I was about 38, 39 years old, experienced the most painful, nauseating, heavy, clotting periods no woman should ever have to go through. It would keep me in bed. It would make me feel incapacitated, afraid of leaving the house in fear that I was going to have a bloodbath all over the place. There were times that I had gone to utilize the facility and literally thought that I was dying with what I saw in the toilet. Well, I'm not a big fan of doctors. I don't like doctors. I don't like doctors' visits. I think they're very invasive, and I think that they kind of poke the bear, so to speak. But I decided that since I hadn't been to a gynecologist in about 10, 15 years, it was probably a good time to go and get myself checked out again. So I did, and one of the conversations that came up was my painful, dreaded period and how it made me feel and how it kept me bedridden and how at times it felt like somebody was literally inside my uterus with a knife cutting from the inside. And what we found was that my endometrial lining was more than double what the average woman's is, and that is what accounted for and explained the heavy bleeding, the serious clotting, and the enormous pain, and the extended length of the period that I had. As a child, I was always 28-day cycles, 3 to 5 days, very minimal, not a big deal. But as I was headed into my 40th year, things changed a lot. And I just assumed, like many women assume, that my body was changing and that I was headed towards menopause, and this was just something that I should expect moving forward. I started doing a lot of research on perimenopausal symptoms, and one of the things that I had found was these types of periods were, well, common for going through this age race. Anyway, my doctor told me about a procedure that can be done called the NovaSure Endometrial Ablation, where they would probably end my period cycle altogether. And I wouldn't lose my hormones, so I would be able to experience a natural menopause when the time was right. I struggled with making this decision because the uterus is the divine feminine. It is the divine creator of life. It is what experience makes and gives us our children. My uterus made me a mother. So it was a very hard decision to make, and I struggled with it. And I cried over it. But I decided that I wanted to have a better quality of life and not confine myself to the bed once a month and miss out on fun activities and miss out on work and experience a normal life. Well, to make a long story short, on this past Wednesday, April 28th, 2021, I went in for my NovaSure Endometrial Ablation. Basically, what they did was they took a long rod that has a radio frequency triangle wave that goes up into the uterus, expands to the side, burns out the lining, and then contracts and comes back down. It's a 90-second procedure. I had it done, and I've been feeling pretty good. I haven't experienced a whole lot of pain. I was in and out of surgery relatively quickly. And now It's about the waiting period. I have to wait to find out if this worked or not. What I'm experiencing is slower movement, a little bit of drainage and leakage from the procedure, but no major heavy bleeding or anything like that. No major heavy cramps. I haven't taken any opiates or high milligram Motrin in a day now in 24 hours. However, I did go out to go see my daughter today at her job, and she works as a bartender, and I did the bar scoot shuffle, did go ahead and strain a muscle in my abdomen. Doesn't feel so good. But overall, I'm getting excited to find out what is going to happen. And I think that this is a conversation that so many women don't have, that they need to have, and they need to normalize the topic. So that's what I'm here to do, is to normalize the topic. So if you have any questions and you want to talk about it, you're free to reach out to me. I'm going to do some follow-ups on this, but this was my introduction to what this procedure was about. So I hope that if you have any thoughts of this and you want to find out more, you talk to your doctor, and you may have an option there for you. You can never have a baby after doing this. It does remove your ability to not get pregnant. You can get pregnant, but you cannot carry. Fresh basil from the garden. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.